Hello everyone, and welcome to Sip and Sew. Today we're diving into two of my favorite things. One, a matcha latte from Trader Joe's, and two, a brand new sewing pattern. So buckle up and let's get sewing. This latte is everything I've ever wanted in a cup of tea before I start digging into a project. The best part is, it's not hard to make. Literally 5 scoops of powder into a cup mixed with water from the Keurig. Cheers. It's super smooth with the perfect amount of sweetness. So if you're a matcha fan, I would highly suggest picking this one up. And if you're not a matcha fan, I think this might be the best way to dip your toes into the water. Speaking of dipping your toes into the water, something that everyone, at least on my end of threads, has been talking about lately is learning how to sew. This is something I'm super excited about because I've been sewing for the past 15 years or so. I think it is one of the perfect hobbies, especially if you just need to relax, chill, and have a hobby that is not so relaxing or chill. I saw these micro shorts trending on TikTok.
What's hot? Winter 2024. Today we're going to be talking about micro shorts paired with tights.
Saw these just hanging there at Target and I knew I had to have them.
Hey, look, before y'all even start, women with ass, those red sequin shorts are not for you, hey.
And absolutely knew I had to try them. So we're going to make them. Duh. As I mentioned before, today we're diving into the Reed swimsuit pattern. Of course, this pattern does come with a top and a bottom. We will only be sewing the bottoms today. If you do not know who Mood Patterns is, well, I'm so excited that I get to share who they are with you guys today. Mood Fabrics does offer free patterns on their website, which can be very effective. They do come with their downsides. So I would like to say Mood Patterns is a great place as a starting point, but not so much as a final destination. When it comes to assembling patterns from the internet, sometimes you can have issues, and most of the time this can be user error. But I believe in today's case, that is not it. I have a lot of experience printing patterns from the internet. It's always the same, measure the box, make sure you're printing at 100%, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, trust me, I know how to print a pattern from online. This pattern was awful to put together. This was not a fun time. My best advice: if you are ever putting a pattern together and your corners are not lining up as they should, go through the pattern using a marker and trace your size. Then cut out all your pieces and assemble them that way. It is a lot more difficult. It is a lot more tedious, especially if you don't really have an idea of what the pattern should look like in the final shot. What is nice about Mood Patterns, though, is that in their first image on all of their patterns, they show a flat lay of what the pattern should look like. It would be best practices, in my opinion, to make sure you print the sheet, just so when you are going through and assembling the pattern, if you come across any issues in where the pattern is not aligning properly, in which you can fix that. It's like the box on a puzzle piece lid, It's not going to help you entirely, but it's going to give you a full image of what you should be looking for. That is what I ended up doing here. After I highlighted everything, cut it out, assemble it together, it ended up looking like it should. I'm going to give this about 3 out of 5 thimbles when it comes to assembly. Today, I'll be using this thrifted stretch fabric. Although I don't know the blend of it, I do know that it'll be the perfect amount of stretch, at least for what we will be making today. I then cut out my fabric. Normally, I would use a rotary cutter. Didn't have one today, so I used a pair of scissors. Gonna look a little janky, not gonna lie. And then I went ahead and followed the original pattern instruction of sewing down the hips on the side seams. This went together flawlessly, no issues here, no problem. Then I went to try this on. As we were expecting, this did not fit me. No, it did fit around my hip line and my legs very, very well, but it did not fit me around my back area. I have had this problem my whole entire life. So it's to be expected that a pattern that is made for straight size clothing would not fit me. It is what it is. So I ended up putting darts into the back of these shorts specifically so they would fit me. If you do not know how to sew darts, I do have a tutorial that I wrote myself. It's on TikTok. I'll go ahead and put that link in the description below. So if you guys need to know how to put darts in the back of clothes, it happens to me. It probably happens to a lot of you. you'll be able to fix that on pretty much any piece of clothing, just in case you needed that resource. Once I installed my darts on both the lining and the top fabric, it was then time to install the elastic. Now, the original pattern did not call for putting elastic here, but I knew that I would need elastic here, so I very much did put an elastic waistband in this. To do this, I took my elastic and wrapped it around my body where the top of the shorts is supposed to sit. Once that was measured, I went ahead and cut that where it needed to be, and then I just went ahead and sewed a box around this. This is the standard that I've seen basically across the internet on how to close an elastic closure. At this point, I went ahead and sandwiched the elastic with the top and the lining of the fabric, and I sewed a zigzag stitch across the top, pulling the elastic to match the same length of the bottoms, so I would have like a consistent gather around the waistband. Once this was done, I flipped it right side out, gave everything a very good press. As we know, sewing is 90% ironing and 10% sewing. Used a hem guide foot because, let's face it, I'm lazy and I love consistency, to hem the bottom hem of each one of the leg holes, and I did this using a zigzag stitch. Once everything was completed, I tried it on one final time, and you guys tell me, how do you think we did today? I think we did pretty good. I think this is pretty iconic. I kind of am obsessed with them. And if you'd like to see me make anything else in the future, please let me know what you guys like me to make. I would love to sew more projects, and I like learning new stuff. So maybe there's something out there that I haven't made yet. And if you like tea like I like tea, please let me know what beverage you would like me to try next. Cheers.